Welcome to the Interviews with Really Productive People series by DeskTime. Today, we're sitting down with Raitis Purins, the head of marketing at Printful, to give you a bit of an idea about Printful. It's a startup that started out 6 years ago. During that time, it's grown to over 600 employees worldwide. It has manufacturing centers in 5 locations over 4 countries, has produced over 12 million items, and is showing no signs of slowing down.
Thanks for having me. The growth has been incredible, so I'm happy to be here and can share something with your audience.
So I want to get an idea of how you're able to scale at this rate, how you're able to stay on top of this very rapidly growing marketing team and initiatives across so many different channels, and to really pick your brain about what you have to do to accommodate this level of growth. So I guess my first question for you would be, do you consider yourself a productive person?
I'm getting there. I know I'm more productive than I was a few years ago when I joined Printful. Almost 3 years ago, then the team was small, just 5 people, and now it's more than 30 people. So I'm getting there. I know I have to work constantly with myself, but probably now I can do probably 3-4 times more than I were able to do before.
So what is it that you changed that now you're able to do 3 or 4 times more of the workload?
I'm using email in a different way. I know that previously, that's one of the examples. So previously I used the star function that I starred every important message, but then you just create huge lists of the things you have to do sometimes, someday, nobody knows. And Gmail has amazing function, snooze emails, that will appear in your inbox again and again at the right time. For example, you send some kind of task to someone and he said, I will do that in a week or 2 weeks. You can snooze it, will appear again on your email. In such way, you remove it from your head. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to go constantly through the list, finding the time when actually people have to do that. And if he sends an email earlier that it's done, and it's done. If not, I can follow up easily. I don't have to keep that in my head. You have to create your own system that you don't try to keep everything in your head, that you have a place. I'm using notes on my iPhone. It's pretty cool that it's synchronized also on my computer as well. So if I have an idea in my mind, I'm going to a meeting, then I can write down notes and also at the same time synchronize with my computer. Then I can go back to the computer and see everything. Still using spreadsheets. For example, I have a sheet of 150 marketing ideas, which are different ideas and constantly adding more and more. There will be never a good time to do every idea which is there in the list, but you have to just remember to check the list from, I don't know, once per month. I have a reminder even for that. I have to check the list and see maybe something which you should do now. Maybe it's time actually to assign it to someone from the team and implement the idea or test this idea. Again, I'm using things as my to-do list, and I have reminders every day about some things which maybe not in my email. Don't use everything per email because sometimes it's so full that you will just forget everything which is on your second to-do list as well. And then I have recurring reminders. I even have reminder that I have to read the customer surveys every week. I have to read 10 of them because we are getting them so many. I have my writing that I can do at least 10, not 100 of them. So I feel the sense of the customer in such way. And my favorite example probably is that a year ago, many people on the team were sick during the autumn. So I created a reminder for end of the summer next week, and I have to buy vitamins or fruits for the team. So these small things, maybe that also help to stay team healthy, nobody knows. But it's things you can, set a reminder after almost a year.
That seems like it's also a very kind thing that will make your team feel valued.
You have to keep up the team spirit. They have to, feel good at the office. They have to come to the office with smiley faces, and also that's part of the productivity. You'll stay productive, you'll like what you're doing, if you love what you're doing.
A team that's growing very quickly with a lot of new hires all the time, how do you make the team an environment and a place where people come into the office smiling and happy and productive?
One thing I started early when I joined the company, we celebrate project launches. So we sit down once after the bigger project launched. I would sit down and drink wine, eat some candy, eat some fruits or something like that. And we celebrate that we did something, the team did. We say thank you, that I'm really proud of the team, what they achieved, what they have done, So these small things added. I quickly saw that also rest of the teams at Printful also doing similar things as well. Actually, it's a constant challenge. So now we are more than 30 people. I'm not able to directly manage everyone. So recently created the mid-management also inside the team. So now other people inside the team are responsible to pursue the goals and ideas to others. Even today when we're having this interview, we are having our own marketing all hands. We're doing that together with the sales team and also invited to join also business development team, also the UX UI team and products team to join, talk more about the goals and remind where we're heading, how we are measuring that we are achieving these goals. And the second thing, when you have such a huge team, someone recently joined the UX UI team, I had no idea who that person is. So the first part will be the presentation, marketing and sales will speak, there also someone else from the team will speak about some, sharing the experience on a conference. And the second part, it will be experience, will be speed dating.
Speed dating within the company itself.
Within the company itself,
right.
That you get to know people, not just know what they're doing in company, but what their hobbies are, where do they live, where they're coming from. So, because you have to, create somehow also this family meeting that you know about people, something else, not just what their responsibilities at the office is.
So working in a team with such high growth and at such a speed must also have its drawbacks from a mental workload perspective. What has been your experience with that?
When we were a small team, just able to do everything really quickly and everyone know what to do. When more and more people are joining, more than 10 people have joined Printful marketing this year alone. So have to come up with the processes how everyone interacts with each other, especially those who work for longer for a company and there's some kind of change happening. They don't want to do that and they want to do it in an old style way. So that's maybe not a huge drawback, but it's something you have to deal with. When you're growing a team, you're creating new positions which previously you didn't have in a team. You have to figure out on the go how that position will look inside a team, who will help them, how will they interact. That's someone you're taking responsibility from someone else or you're giving new projects. And that's also is not easy because it's also challenging for me as a manager to figure out if that person will be happy, have enough to do, how can the person do more. And when some more people join, it's also actually, maybe it's a little strange, but it's part of the culture.
A lot of discussion in the past few years has been geared towards the mental health aspect of working in tech companies and high growth tech companies. Have you yourself had to deal with things like burnout?
In my previous workplace, before I joined Printful, I was probably taking my work everywhere. Not maybe physically with the computer and doing it, but in my head. I know that I was having a hard time going to sleep. I was thinking about some kind of projects or things I didn't do. I'd say that the system, I have written everything somewhere, and some kind of document, something allows me to sleep better. Because I know that I'll come to office, everything be in the same place. I'll have my system, computer will actually help to remind me of the things that I have to do. And you have to deal with the thing that you will not be able to do everything. In a startup, everyone will have more things on their to-do list they're capable of doing during that week. Prioritize your tasks, figure out which is the most important thing, and you have to tackle those projects. Because you have to say, no, I will not do that. And you also have to agree about that with your direct manager. And also I'm spending time with the rest of the teams that, okay, we are planning to do this, we are capable to do this, and we'll skip this project, we'll postpone this for another month. So that's helping a lot. I'm suggesting also others to do that. You're capable to do as much as you have resources to do that. Either you can hire more people, could join your team, you have to talk about it with your manager, because if you don't have resources, you're not capable to finish the project. Or either you can hire a freelancer, hire an agency, so your team and your hours be just more and you're able to finish the project.
Speaking of this kind of tendency of burnout, is there any way that you, within your team or within Printful, how you manage this or how you try to avoid this in general? I mean, vitamins is a great start.
Physical activities, so do sports. Do that 3-4 times per week, usually after spending time in the office. So you have to have some kind of physical activities. There's also morning activities, some kind of not yoga, something in between. And team actually are trying to collect people who's willing to come to the office at 8 a.m. and do something there, something before they get in the office. So we have a lot of remote work as well, and we are making sure that they leave the office sometimes in the day. Otherwise, they'll just spend too much time, maybe even with the work, because when you're remote work, you tend to overwork a little bit. So you have to spend time on the weekends going somewhere and doing something outside. You have to take vacation from time to time. You have to like say no, stop, I want to go spend some time without any office hours, nothing, no emails at that time. And probably last thing, don't take your job to home. It's also important. There's also something to finish the project. You can do that. It shouldn't be everyday thing. So let's leave the computer in the office.
And so what would you have changed in your previous, I guess, work life when you felt less productive or more burnt out? What would have been the advice that you would have given to yourself?
Don't trust your brain. Can't keep everything in your head actually, so you have to write it down. You have to come up with a system. It is either on your computer or no, it's sticky notes on your computer. Working on the startups, you have to realize that you don't have to do everything perfect. So you have to think, if you'll change something, you'll spend, 8 more hours on doing something, will it get more results? So you can't probably, for perfectionists, you'll never get like the ideal sweet spot. It will be, the result doesn't matter what we'll do, will probably be really similar. So you have to see if we'll spend more time, so it'll help you grow more.
And one element that I believe is a very big part about going to work with a light in your eyes is the motivation and the drive to do what you do. So my question for you is, what motivates you to get up and do what you do every single day?
Together with Printful, we want to do something amazing. We come from a small country, Latvia, pretty small if you look on a map of the world. I believe that we can do something so amazing with nobody from Latvia have done. So that's keep me going. That's number one thing, and it should be something amazing. I believe that Printful could become $1 billion company one day, and that's a little bit patriotic as well, because me as a Latvian want to do that. I will want to be part of that. Printful is actually doing everything that you come to the office and you just work. Have your laptop in place, have your space pretty good. We have coffee, we have water, we have free lunch as well. So you have to come to the office and just show your best performance. You don't have to think about the small things. I hate Windows, I want to work with Mac. If you need a Mac, here you go. I need a second screen. Okay, if it helps, we'll get you a second screen. So we are making sure that you can come to the office and you have to just work. You don't have to complain about everything. And you have to listen to the feedback of employees as well. That it's maybe more about my team as well. I'm making sure that they're also happy, that they coming to the office, they work with the people who love the same things that they do. It's making sure that you hire the right people who also have similar qualities, similar culture.
So now we're going to move on to the rapid fire question round. Okay. So don't think too much about your answers. The first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
So night owl or early bird?
Early bird, no.
Favorite place to work from?
Office.
What's your favorite book?
Harry Potter, probably. It's the first thing that's come to mind.
Your best recent purchase of under $50?
Under, I don't know, cucumber.
One rule you live by?
Love yourself.
An app you can't live without?
Things.
Your favorite conference to attend?
IRC and Chicago.
Your favorite country to visit?
Latvia.
Your biggest role model?
My mom.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Music while working, yes or no?
No.
And that's all we've got for today.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us. This was Raitis Purins, Head of Marketing from Printful. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like, subscribe for more productivity videos and business management. See you next time.
Thank you.